folks, and welcome to their Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
I'm Benjamin, and Matt, we have so many girls in the room.
Girls. Who else is here?
Good girls.
Megan.
And
Oh boy.
Emily.
oh
Wait.
boy.
Who are you?
Who is this?
The Mrs. I know. Stranger danger. Okay.
She's my friend.
Oh goodness gracious.
Your children love me.
That's true. That is true.
One more girl in the room.
So, hold on.
What?
What are you going to say?
What?
No?
Huh?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something.
I was, but no.
Okay. We are doing, and we got the babies here too.
That's the other
We're doing
girl.
a terrible job
Ella
keeping them
and
quiet.
Little Ella and Forrest. So we're not totally outnumbered. We have,
No.
an even split.
Yeah, 3 and 3, but Forrest isn't going to help us much.
But since we're used to dominating the room, as you know.
Here we go.
Oh,
right,
baby
there we go.
shift.
All right, so we've done it for the 80s. We did it for the 90s. It was so popular. We're coming back
Here
for the
we are again on
2000s.
Saturday morning, doing it for the 2000s.
Here we are, 2000s. And I need to make an apology. I forgot about 2 movies that I thought were 2000s.
What?
And I was going to save them for my 2000s, but they actually ended up being in the late 90s.
Really?
And I got it wrong.
So do you need to go to
So,
retroactively amend?
retroactively, 2 movies. Cube, which is fantastic. I believe I've talked about this before. Guys are in a room. No. There's random people. They're trapped in individual rooms that have 6 doors. One on each 4 walls, one on the floor, and one at the ceiling. And they're come from different walks of life. One is mentally challenged. One's a thief.
Sounds
one's
like
a
Saw.
rich person. One's a, in a way.
It is like Saul.
But
Who's
they're
the director?
trapped. I don't recall. I don't recall. It's an older movie. Now, they threw because it made money on video release. They threw money at him for a sequel, and him with money sucks.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have money. He made a prequel that was low budget, and it sucked. So don't watch anything else. But there's Cube Zero and Cube Squared. But no, don't watch those. Cube, fantastic movie. The second one is Screamers #1. Screamers 2, which was not called 2, it's called Screamers The New Dawn or something, something like that. They changed things. That came out in the 2000s. It's basically the same story as the first one. But the first movie, really good, kind of sci-fi.
So wait, you're adding Screamers 2, but not
No,
Screamers.
I'm adding Screamers.
Okay.
Screamers 2 came out in the 2000s, and I got them mixed up.
Okay.
I thought they both came out in the 2000s. But anyway, with Screamers 1999 or something like that, late 90s, really good, a lot of twist. And again, this is a movie that I want to watch now.
What?
Like it's been a long time, and thinking about it, I want to watch
I think
it
that
again.
qualifies. And so Emily is one of our new guests here, is our new guest, or one of the 3. And she has been asking me ever since the day I offered this. I said, hey, you should come over and talk about these movies with us, because we always get really giddy when there's a girl in the room. A girl! And
It tells about your middle
she's been
school
asking me about
experience.
this every other day. She's like, well, wait a minute, I don't understand. Wait, what do we do? How do we, what qualifies?
overthink it.
What qualifies?
Like
Yes,
most
she's
things.
totally overthinking it, and it's fine. But very happy you're here. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. And that
Happy
you
you're
have
here.
Well, I just had a podcast idea for you. Sequels that don't suck.
sequels that don't suck. I mean, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Like, of all time.
I don't know. You
All
don't think
right,
about that.
Okay.
Well, we'll
All right.
chew on that. That's a good
Okay.
one. That's a good one.
All right. So what we do...
Because you're right. There are very few. But that, okay, that's a good topic.
Are there enough to make a top 5?
Yes, because
I
I
would
can
say
come
yes.
up with
Obviously, yeah.
with 3 immediately. I have 3, but that's about all. So,
All right. So what we'll do, we go through we go 5 to number 1.
yes,
If
5
you
to
rank
1.
them. If you didn't, that's
shoot.
fine. If you
Okay.
didn't, that's fine.
I can't in my head.
So I'll go. We'll go first, kind of show you how it goes, and then you and Megan can go.
I think we've decided that Megan is just going to chew on our
She's
responses.
looking. Well, no, she's looking up some now.
and,
So
and
okay.
it make you feel terrible about whatever picks you randomly pick that are just so strange. And that we all of us collectively as an audience will just be like, Matt, what in the world?
She's just here to make fun of Matt.
Yes.
My number 5 is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Do you remember
is
that one?
On my list, because not on my top 5. But
I was gonna say.
as I was making this list, I had to create a bottom, like we have honorable mentions usually, but I had to create another subsection that was like movies I have to watch again very soon because I've forgotten all about this, but it didn't make the top 5, but it is absolutely, it has to be an honorable mention then. But,
It has. Okay, it was a number 5 for me. Solid. but because it has a great cast. That
Yes.
wasn't great back then. I think they were back then. But the thing is now, Robert Downey Jr.,
Right.
Val
It's-
Kilmer, in
it's
his,
star-
and
yeah.
his, at his one of his heights there before he kind of went away.
Some people said his best role.
Maybe so, but
Yeah.
and it's very witty, it's very quick, it's very thinky, it's fun.
Genre.
Oh, would it be like a dramedy?
guess,
There's a little
yeah.
bit of comedy in there. It's a little dark.
We forgot to do crossover.
Oh, how much crossover going to have? 0.
You think 0?
I think 0. What would you say?
Of the 5
Oh
that
no,
we
it's
have,
gonna be 0.
you think you're absolutely nothing on your list that's going to be on our list?
So,
Absolutely.
Wow.
1,000%.
what would you say? 1?
I mean, we're going to have to let the lady go first, right? So she can claim 0. You might claim 1, but you both are very confident in your
Well,
zeros.
since there's 4 of us today, I'm saying we can double up on a number.
I'm doing this because of our age difference.
Okay, so what about 1 for you?
But we're talking about the same decade.
Yeah, but how you experience this decade and how I experience this decade are 2 different.
If you have
Very
5 Ashley and Olsen twin things, I'm throwing you off
Look,
this
winning-
podcast.
winning London,
Ashley
top
also
5
part
for
2,
me.
right?
Probably even sing the beginning song.
That you knew the title scares me.
Okay, we're gonna. we'll talk
Okay,
about
anyway,
Ashley.
that's another one.
Moving on.
But anyway,
Yes.
So Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. My favorite line, it leaves a lot of explain to do, but it was, "You pissed on a dead hooker," to which the response is, "I didn't know she was dead." And it's not what you think.
Oh, boy.
It's not what you think. It's not dirty in a way.
That's good writing.
So it's good writing, especially when you know what's going on. It's a series of events that get worse and worse in a way of a situation. And it's actually really good with a great cast. Okay, so what is number 5 for you, Benjamin?
Number 5 for me ended up being 500 Days of Summer.
Was that a 2000?
It was.
Was that 2000?
It was in the aughts. Yes.
That almost
That
made
was
my
a good
list.
one. That was a
And
good one. I'd forgotten about it. That was a
Shout
good
out
one.
to our friend Taylor Yakowenko, who hates this movie so much.
Really?
She loathes it because it's such a manic pixie dream girl typecasting thing of story trope. And it's basically the same story as Annie Hall, which is one of the greatest Woody Allen movies ever made. And she just thinks it's a far superior film. So that said, I apologize to Taylor Yakowenko for even mentioning this story.
It has a laugh out loud scene where he looks into the rear view, that window of the car window, and he sees Han Solo back
Yes.
at his
it's
reflection. as Han-
magnificent.
And there's so many good
right
scenes.
after he had sex and he's feeling good about himself. Yeah, and he's like on top of the
Yes.
world. Yes, exactly.
The split screen about what he thinks
What
is
he
happening
perceived and what
what's
was
really
reality.
happening.
It's brilliant.
There's a lot going on in there. 500 Days of
No,
Summer.
one of the reasons that I added is because of that cinematography, which you don't see. It's like it's quirky. It's quirkily
is.
made. It's quirkily acted, and it all tells the story from Tom's perspective. Now, there are a lot of problems with the story, and it does promote the manic pixie dream girl attitude that women only exist in movies to promote the story for the man and whatever else, and that's a whole other argument. But what I do like about it is that it's told in such a jumbled mix of, it starts out on day 29, then it jumps to day 488,
Right.
and then it jumps back.
Back
And
and forth.
that's how it's all told from his point of view from the beginning. And he says this is not a love story. And then he's remembering this love affair that he had. And that's how we remember it. We remember the really good times. We remember the really bad times. And then it comes back and forth in between. And I just think that's beautiful. The way it's confusing in the storytelling is how it feels. And I think they captured that really well. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt is just brilliant. And I think he's fantastic as that.
I will say my exit song in my wedding was Hall & Oates. You make my dreams come true.
It is not really.
And it did.
That's
it was.
great. That's great.
That is probably my favorite scene is him dancing to Hall & Oates.
All right, so give us one of yours.
1 or number 5?
Oh, number 5. I'm
Five.
sorry, I didn't know you
Number
numbered them.
five.
Go.
I really am.
She's
feeling-
an overachiever. Man.
Okay.
Let's do it.
In my drama category, because I.
The Oscar goes
Okay, in 2000, I love this movie, and I don't like a lot of his movies. The Family Man with Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I remember seeing that.
I loved this movie.
Why?
It was so heartfelt and so different because I feel like it spoke to the human experience of like the grass is greener,
yeah.
and you got to experience the grass.
Have you seen
And-
Family Man?
The Family Man.
The Family
Nicolas
Man
Cage.
with Nick
Hold on.
Cage.
I'm
never seen this?
changing.
Oh,
I
you are. He
I
always
love
does
that
this.
movie.
He always does
He does
this.
love
I love that movie.
I've never seen that movie.
It is
It's so good.
one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
And That will be my number one.
Shut up. You forgot about
I'm
your
bumping
number one
everything
movie
down.
for
Well,
Family
it's
Man?
a Christmas movie. And I didn't, to be fair, I didn't look at Christmas movies because
though?
I thought Christmas, yes it is.
I mean, I know it takes place.
No,
And it
Family Man is a
starts
Christmas
with
movie.
Christmas.
It is,
It is.
Okay.
not to ruin it, but it's like, it's a Wonderful Life reversed.
Okay, I mean,
His life
I've seen it
started
once.
that, and then
Yeah.
he sees what his life could have been.
I've seen it
That was
once.
better.
And I thought it was all
Yeah.
right. I didn't
It's
think it was the
it's
greatest
so
movie
good.
ever.
It's so good.
Tia Leone.
The best,
good.
the best.
I'd marry Tia Leone.
The best scene is at the end when he's watching his kids sleep and he doesn't want to go to sleep.
Yes.
He wants to wake up
'Cause
and
he
enjoy
knows.
because he
No.
knows that's the last night.
Yes,
It's a perfect scene.
it is. Well, my perfect scene is the staircase scene when he's chasing her up the stairs.
That's good too.
And I'm just like, there's so many things about my personality that I'm like, no, don't chase me up the stairs. Let me go and do my routine. But just the love that
Wow.
he shows her, and she's
Yes.
just so playful, and it's just so cute. I
That-
just love it.
that it's something that it makes it doesn't put he has everything, riches, life, he has everything he ever wanted, but so what's important is the family. And not in a cheesy way too.
Yeah.
Not in a cheesy way. And in a very good his life seems like a headache. He wants out, and it does. When you've been living in his life for the first 20 minutes of the movie
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
You feel like,
Him and-
oh yeah,
it's
you
a
do.
Tire, like a tire.
It's tire
like
salesman,
tire
but he goes from
salesman.
CEO of this big
Yeah.
company about on the verge of taking over this multi-million-dollar
Yeah.
deal to make him even more money. He has it all. The
Yeah.
people at the hotel that he rents out know his name.
Yeah.
He limo driving, fast driving, woo, Ric
Yeah.
Flair, razzle dazzle. To go to that, you're getting a headache just watching that. You're like,
Yeah.
oh man. But at the end, our eyes change as
Yeah.
his do about that family
Yeah.
and about his situation.
So
And when
good.
he sees the angel again, he says, "No."
Yeah.
I
He,
don't
like,
want
begs.
it." He begs, yes, and it's
This
great.
might be reading into every single like supernatural character in most movies, but was that Morgan Freeman?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, it
I
wasn't.
mean, he plays supernatural
No, it
characters
wasn't.
all the time.
But
specifically
it
God.
could have been because
Morgan Freeman.
he's the words of wisdom in there. But it's such a good.
Yes.
It's such a good movie. Number one.
That's
one.
amazing that you
Moving everything.
Look at me moving him to
Of all
number
the
one.
Saturday morning Samoflanges we've ever recorded, I mean, he's always changed something
I
around.
did not
I've
think
never
about
seen
that.
the
That's
number
a
one.
forgotten Christmas movie that's fantastic.
Literally was forgotten. Like you completely
Yes.
forgot about it.
Yes. Well, I didn't look for Christmas movies.
Right.
I
Just
didn't
threw
search
you.
that.
The genre threw you.
Yeah.
Then okay.
It threw me. Good pick.
You need
Mrs.
to watch it. Y'all need to watch it. You've never seen it.
I've never
She's-
seen it. I've never seen it. You talk about it every year at
All right.
Christmas, and we never watch it.
Because she's busy watching
twice,
Hallmark
I don't-
Channel.
Okay, so your turn.
I am busy watching the Hallmark.
Yeah, man. It's just good stuff on.
Um,
right.
I don't really have a list.
Oh, okay.
I
You're just gonna
didn't-
comment.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought you were
I
looking
mean,
at the list.
I'm sure. I mean, there's some that I've jotted down, but I'll just do mine at the end because I'm not doing like an order, and I don't want to like take anybody's, and I don't know.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I'm so. This was last minute.
No,
for
I
me.
know that's fine.
Prepared to do
That's
this.
fine. That's fine. Okay, so
I feel like we should argue about something. over
my
here.
my new. Oh gosh,
Bigger.
I don't know where I am. I guess I'm going I'm going back
Like
to my
what
number
got
5
bumped
again.
out? What was number 5? What got
Well,
bumped
Kiss
out?
Kiss Bang Gang gets bumped out.
Kiss
then.
Kiss. Oh, okay.
So new number 5 is Will Ferrell's Unfunny movie, Stranger Than Fiction.
shut up. Really?
I've
Which-
never seen it.
You've
It's
never-
great.
No.
Okay.
It's
All right.
I think it's good because Emma Thompson is
Emma
the
Thompson.
author.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
he's
know
the
it.
he is the
narrator or something like that.
Well, no, she's the writer and he's the star of the story.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't realize he's a character, and he starts arguing with the lady in the book.
So it's like the Truman
We're-
Show, but like in a different way.
Yeah, but we're living it through his life, and he doesn't want the narrator to. And it's perfect because writers have told me this before, that a character will run away from you, meaning
Yes.
you have an idea for this character, but then it morphs into something else. Like, wait a minute, I don't want it, but this makes sense. It's going this way, and so in a way, it's kind of a play on all that, where the character does not want to die that day or whatever, and so he runs away from his
Because
fate.
she kills
and
all of
she's
her
getting
characters.
frustrated. Yeah, she's getting frustrated because she can't kill him off.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, she's writing this, and she's like, "What is going on?" So it's kind of supernatural in a way.
I'm gonna have to like start writing.
You know,
these
like
down
he's
of,
talking to
things
her
I
and stuff.
need to watch.
Well, he
But
becomes self-aware as he's brushing his teeth.
Yes.
And it says Harold was counting brushstrokes, and then he suddenly hears it, and he says,
Yeah.
Wait a minute, who's counting? How do you know I was counting brushstrokes?" And he gets really upset,
Yeah.
and then she starts narrating everything he does, and then he just can't stop it, and he thinks he's going crazy, but then he realizes, no, I'm a character in a book.
and he doesn't want to be, and it's really good. I won't.
He,
I don't want to
he's
spoil.
fine with it. He just doesn't want the narration happening in his head. And then he finds out that she literally kills every main character
Yeah.
in her books. And he's like, well, wait a minute.
And so he's trying to escape that.
Yeah. That
It's
inevitable,
really good.
inexorable death.
So I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna name a movie because I feel like I have to name something. Okay, so I don't have a list per se in any order. So I'm just gonna pick like I'm gonna rank them worst to I guess better. But this movie just came to my mind only because I watched it with your sister not long ago. Do y'all remember The Hot Chick?
The hot chick? No.
Hot chick?
Rob Schneider.
Oh yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, it's
Yes.
a forgotten movie.
Is he
obviously.
like a gigolo or something like that in that?
So-
Or is it something?
That's Deuce
Deuce
Bigelow.
Bigelow.
Which is
Wait, is this the one he has the little parrot in his
no,
mouth?
this is the one where him and Rachel McAdams like they put the earring on. Like she puts one on and he puts one on. It's a long story.
I mean, haven't
but
seen
they
it.
switch bodies, so he's her and she's him.
Okay, like
Hilarious.
Freaky Friday issue thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
but and I love Rob Schneider. Love him. Anyway, watch it or let's have a girls'
Okay,
night and watch
yeah.
it.
So, why do you love Rob Schneider?
He's
Because of the
so-
confidence level, or
I just, you know what? I would be his best friend, and if I could, I
see
think he's
that? I
hilarious.
could see that. Yeah.
A lot of people probably find him more annoying than anything, but I just think he's so funny. I don't hate him in any movie, even like the worst Adam Sandler movie. I love Rob Schneider.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Okay.
All right. So number 4, Benjamin.
First of all, we have to talk about the crossover that we've had, and I win because Stranger Than Fiction is my number 3.
Oh, shut the
Yes,
front door.
sir.
Is it really?
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
Wow.
Oh,
Wait, were
didn't
we
even
saying
name
zero
how many
crossover for all of us or just for
crossovers.
me?
We did. You stepped out just for a second.
We
But
said
they
zero
They both
crossover
immediately
total for
said
all of us.
0.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, I got
Oh
one.
no, we always have at least one.
Okay.
Yeah. Did we have one when he was name dropping
you're
his
number
weird
3.
Technically,
Amazon
didn't
Women
Matt
of the
make another
Jungle
one?
No, I don't
cannibals?
think so.
I think
You made
so.
another
I don't think we
crossover.
had any
You added
Maybe
one
not
to your
that one.
list.
Well, that doesn't count, but yeah. All right. So, okay, good. All right.
Stranger Than Fiction, I went back and forth a lot. Actually, it's my number 2 on my list.
Wow,
I
it's
went
good,
back and
though.
forth because it's a magnificent movie. I
agree.
think it's fantastic.
I agree.
And just such good casting and everything. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
it's a great movie.
Number 4 then.
Number 4, 5 was 500 Days of Summer. I'm keeping with the numbers, and I'm now on 28 Days Later with Cillian Murphy. And it's a zombie movie without being a
Oh,
zombie
yeah,
movie.
well, I didn't watch that.
But it's Danny Boyle, and they're not zombies. They're like they're infected with rage or whatever.
It's a really good movie.
It's a magnificent film. And I think
agree.
Danny Boyle is really one of the most underrated directors, at least in the United States. He's much more popular in Britain.
I enjoyed 28 Weeks Later too. I know not as good, but I enjoyed it.
I think that's
same guy, right?
I think it was Danny
He
Boyle.
directed.
I'm not sure.
And he did have a 28 months later idea.
Probably.
Yeah, it was all around the number 28 for some reason.
I was done after, like,
Yeah,
I think
all you have to
28
watch
Days
is 28
Later
Days Later, and that's
is-
it.
Happened
Yeah.
in February.
It's a magnificent standalone. It doesn't need more. That would definitely qualify as not a good sequel. That not the sequel's
gonna
not
be
better.
honest.
It's not better, but I enjoyed it. But not 28 Days Later is better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it once.
I think just because I've talked about this a lot on this podcast about how I'm just a fan of cinematography and acting and camera work and stuff like that so much. And Danny Boyle is just such a genius. And one of his other movies that was on here is actually in my honorable mentions list. It was Sunshine, which isn't even that great of a movie, but it's just so beautiful.
Oh my
and
gosh, that's
so
the
well
horror
directed.
movie, right?
I mean, it's
Space.
the
space horror?
sun is dying, and they
Yes.
have to go fix they have to, a
that's
last
a
ditch
good-
effort to
that's a good
reignite the
film,
sun.
too.
It's so good, and it's just, but it's.
I agree. It wouldn't be in my top
sad,
5 either,
it's-
but it's good.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched it 100 times because it's just it drags on my soul. Like I don't want to watch
It is
this
not
again.
a pick me up movie.
No, and 28
it's
Days
a-
Later isn't either. But
Yeah.
it's certainly got some better redeeming qualities about human nature. nature because it really shows the bad side of human nature. And because, of course, you're going to have these paramilitary morons who are all about the patriarchy, who are trying to establish order. You're going to have all that stuff. That's fine. But the heroes of the story just, it's so human and it's so raw. And Cillian Murphy I became a fan of everything he's done since because of how honestly he played that movie.
Okay.
And Danny Boyle I will watch anything Danny Boyle directs, period.
Gotcha.
Because of Trainspotting, basically, but also
Yeah.
because of 28 Days Later. So that's my number 4.
All right. Number 4.
This is my animated film.
From the other genre. Did you switch
If
genres
you
for
get
all
my
of them?
number, oh whoa,
Ooh.
what?
Really doubt. But Atlantis.
Oh no, it wasn't mine.
I love
I love Atlantis. And not a lot of people like
I saw it and watched
were
it and
huge-
forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it qualifies.
it. It is
Yeah.
yes, I forgot.
Totally
good.
forgot it, yeah.
And I will say there's like this
It's like
small
DreamWorks?
grassroots.
Is that
No, I think it's
DreamWorks?
Disney.
It's
I
not
thought.
Disney. I don't
Is
think.
it Disney?
I think
Let
it
me-
was.
let
I
me
thought it
look.
was
Oh, it's
like
on
the
Disney Plus?
competition. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Maybe they bought DreamWorks.
There's a small grassroots effort to like cast this as alive. And you should see who they have. Like they
Oh,
have The
man.
Rock in it and Angelina Jolie. It's really funny who people and they were very strong about it. Their opinions about who needs to be
Walt
cast in
Disney.
this.
Is it?
Disney.
Wow.
It's so good, but
It is very forgotten then.
The Atlantis 2 will make the not good sequel list, but Atlantis 1
Atlantis.
is so good. It's so funny.
But you know who voiced the lead?
Who voiced the lead?
That was Michael J. Fox.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first post. I can't do live, but I can do voice
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
after he got
No.
diagnosed.
After he made the diagnosis public
Oh, okay.
and stepped away from that TV show he was on.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right.
No, I didn't remember that movie at all. That perfectly
So
qualifies.
Yeah,
So
no, that's a
good.
good one.
I only remembered it because we watched it like when I taught preschool. The kids watched it a lot.
It's so funny.
It's so good. I need
Yeah.
to show the girls that actually.
Megan, what's your pick?
Okay, so again, this is kind of like another dumb movie, but hilarious. Do y'all remember Joe Dirt?
Oh,
Joe
yes.
Dirt. I think that's
That
another
is
one
actually
I
a
kind
really
of
good one.
watched halfway, and I'm like, I'm done with this. This is.
It's so
it
stupid.
didn't do it for
I
me.
loved it.
Tell
and
me
I
why.
don't like a lot of those movies, but David Spade was hilarious, and I like Brittany Daniels, who was the love interest in the movie. But my sister and I would quote that movie all the time. It's so good.
Just got good quotable moments that are
it's
ridiculous good.
Kind of like your Napoleon Dynamite and all those
Yeah.
movies that I just really what's the Sacha Baron Cohen movie that you like that I can't
Borat.
stand?
Borat.
Oh yes.
Yeah, terrible.
It's like those movies. It's like that movie, but but this one is so different.
Very nice.
I think it's hilarious.
So it was
Okay.
pre-Jackass, pre-Borat.
it was
sort
2001.
of-
Yeah,
When
yeah.
was Jackass?
I feel like Borat and Jackass are two totally different.
Different.
Yeah, but
Spectrums thing.
Matt's gonna go see both of them without question.
Oh, yeah.
High five. Okay.
Stop!
So,
I hate
okay.
that.
Well, okay, but that's good. Did you like the sequel?
No.
Okay, there you go.
That
Joe
we're
Dirt
keeping
It
2.
will
with-
not
Joe
be-
Dirt 2.
It will
Borat
not be
too?
on my top
Okay.
five.
Definitely did
Borat
not
too.
qualify for better
Again,
Oh,
sequels.
no,
If
I'm
I
saying
had-
Joe Dirt 2.
If I had time to prepare a list, my list would be amazing. But these are just
All right.
I thought like that was good.
Did
Now
you
that
hear
Megan
her?
has a
Did you
list-
hear her just throw us
I
down
did-
like
that's
that?
because everyone in the
If I
comments
had time to
of
prepare a
the last
list.
few videos have been cheering Megan on.
Apparently,
sorry,
no.
guys. This
Bam.
one's not
No,
gonna
it's
be
Okay,
fine.
so
Go for it.
here's one that I'm saying that will be a crossover now that I know Megan has a list.
Oh gosh.
Because this may be Megan's number one.
I doubt it. Well, I don't know.
Now
I
that
may
you've made a
change it.
list.
Because okay.
The Mist.
No,
Oh,
the Stephen
no.
King
You know what?
movie.
That's my what's the of all the movies ever made? That's the last one on the list.
Yeah.
I will watch Borat over the Mist.
The Mist.
You're just riling her
That's
up,
on
right?
your list.
It's great.
It
I'm
is
not,
not.
playing. I'm not playing. It's great. A fog rolls into town. Everyone's
Oh,
stuck in a
boy.
grocery store.
It's
Weird monster insects are outside.
I feel like, is this a...
Do you know
It's
this
a
movie? yet?
situational horror, and it's great.
Here's the thing: if you want to see a great movie, watch The Mist and then stop it 5 minutes before it's over.
But I feel like there's so many scary
was a great
movies that
movie
have that
until
what
the
you just
end.
said in it
It
for like
was.
5 minutes. Something like a misty thing comes into town. People are stuck in a grocery store and something comes and gets them.
Okay.
That's on so many movies.
This movie makes you think, what would I do in that situation? What
it's
could
a
we
good
do?
movie until the end, and,
And
that's why I hate it.
at the very end,
Because you wouldn't do what
there
happens
is
at the end.
it is a soul breaking
Actually,
ending.
don't watch.
It is
You-
it is soul breaking.
It is.
But it
It's
is
of all children.
if
yes.
Stephen
done.
King wrote Saul,
That's why
Moving
it's soul
on
breaking.
from your list.
I didn't even
It's
have
soul
kids when I
breaking.
saw that movie.
I will spoil it for you when this is over.
Okay.
But it's fantastic. And Megan goes, "That was the worst."
Yeah.
Well, a bad
in the
ending
world."
can spoil
Yeah.
a really good
no,
movie.
I'm
Okay.
the same way. I was enjoying it until the end, and then I was like, I will never,
I know.
ever.
I have never seen it. Yeah,
I won't. I will never
It
even
is-
recommend it to anyone
It
else.
is soul breaking, but it
So,
was good.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer right now on this too. Like, do not watch this movie. It
Watch
don't.
it. It's great until the end.
It's great. Okay,
Come up with
so-
your own ending.
All right,
the end.
number 3 for you.
My number 3 is Idiocracy.
I love that movie!
It's
I've
so
never heard of that movie.
what?
I have tried to get people to watch this movie, and they're like, "Why the frick would you
Here's the
recommend
thing.
this movie to me?" And I'm like, "Because everyone needs to watch this movie."
There you go.
Luke
That's
Wilson.
exactly
This
where
is
I
like a
am.
history
It's
book.
Luke Wilson. Yes. Here's the deal. Every single human needs
Zach
to watch
Shepard.
the first 10 minutes of Idiocracy, and then just stop. The
Yeah,
rest
I
of
would
it
say
is
Well,
preposterous.
No, then they
and
need to
silly.
sprinkle their
No,
lawn with Gatorade.
It's an okay movie, for the silliness and absurdity that it is for an hour and a half. It's the exact opposite of The Mist. Like, you have to watch the first 10 minutes of
No, I,
Idiocracy.
don't know. I feel like the whole thing is just.
But the whole
peppered
thing
with
is a good
brilliance.
movie. It is great. It is great. But the first 10 minutes are entirely different from the rest of the film.
Yeah, that's true.
I promise you
And-
right now, if Jeremy was here, 3 of the movies he's just listed would be on his list.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy Idiocracy is great. My brother loves that. My brother loves Sunshine. That would be on his
Sunshine.
list. And what was the one you
28
made?
Days
28 Days
Later,
Later.
yeah.
Those would definitely be
So
on
he's
my
a Danny
brother's
Boyle
list.
fan for sure.
Yeah, all the way.
So, Idiocracy, for the first 10 minutes of the movie, explains 500 years from the future, or 500 years in the future, this is how human beings are going to end up, because all the idiots are having sex with everyone else and overpopulating the earth. Really intelligent people who are trying to plan for having children and a family and, waiting for the right
Don't
time.
want to go into debt, and
They don't want to go into debt, and they're like, "Oh, it's just not quite the right time," or "We're just the market isn't bad for or isn't good for kids right now," and so they never have kids and they die out. And so it just shows, and it's written by the creator of Beavis and Butthead. So like you're thinking at first, okay, Mike Judge, what are you doing here? I don't want to watch a Beavis and Butthead movie, and it's not that at all. You can see some influences
And the
for
president
sure,
that's
but
elected
It's-
is like a famous movie star.
It's
so it takes the most average man in the world, Luke Wilson, and he's average at everything he does.
Yeah.
And then 500 years later, the army freezes him, and he wakes up.
And what's her face from SNL?
Wanda Sykes. So we talking about?
No,
Who are you talking
no.
about?
It freezes him and this other girl, and she's from SNL. She's
Oh, I don't know. I don't even recall.
she's
now.
in one of mine on top 5. But
Okay.
we'll talk about that later.
Regardless, he wakes up, he's the smartest and most incredible man in the world because he's so much more intelligent than everybody else 500 years from now, because we just all let garbage pile up and pick our butts about things and let...
And it's funny because a Mike Judge film that everyone knows and loves is Office Space,
Office
which is
Space.
good.
Right.
But you need to try Idiocracy. I agree.
At least the first 15 minutes. It's just such...
No, it's
I think
worth
the
watching
ending
all the
is
way
good.
through once. No, I enjoyed it.
That's debatable, and I think that the movie will not. The rest of the movie will not age well. I think as it gets older, but
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I
I
can't say
think that first bit is just one of the most honest tellings of our potential future that I have ever seen,
I agree.
and it's
That was a good one.
magnificent.
All right, number 3.
Okay, this is an action film / family. This will tell you about how old I was in this
genre
decade.
announcements.
Spy Kids.
Spy Kids.
Oh, Spy Kids.
That's such an amazing movie.
Tell us more.
That microwave where she puts in the little.
you talk as if I've seen Spy Kids.
You've never seen.
I've never seen it either. That's why I gave Megan the mic.
This is why I knew this would be no crossover because they never experienced the glory that was Spy Kids when Oh my gosh,
So much
Zorro.
head bopping.
Zorro.
And
Who plays
finger
Zorro? What's his
pointing
name?
right now.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Comes in. He's the spy dad, and then you have the two little
And
kids.
Alexa Penavega, the
Alexa
girl.
Penavega is the girl, and then the guy who played the little boy, he's married to
That
Megan
was a
Trainor.
great idea to invite.
So there's all your connections.
guests.
No way!
Yes,
I
they're
knew
married.
He looked familiar.
Yes.
No way!
Rooney? What? Junie. Anyway, they have all these cool gadgets, and it's just so
It's
cool.
like it's almost like The Incredibles, but in like
There's a scene.
Which is a great movie.
There is a scene in there
You
where
would-
they
I
go
think
into
you
this
would
like
like it.
spy hut, okay? And she has this like she pulls out this like drawer and she has these like little foil packets in these like cellophane. And I promise you're gonna get comments on Spy Kids because there is a whole movement.
Dirty comments.
Dirty
No.
comments.
All right.
No, there's this specific scene that cannot be erased from people's memories from Spy Kids. And she gets it, and half of the foil is red and half of the foil is yellow. And she puts it in the microwave, and she just like presses a button, and then she turns around, and a Big Mac with like extra large fries appears. And every kid or junior high kid or whatever
In the world.
we're like, Mom and Dad, we want this microwave because it just like spits out
I mean,
fast food
I
meals.
want a
Yeah, I
microwave
mean,
that spits
but
out
I've
a Big
also
Mac.
seen The Fifth
So
Element where
good.
Lulu Dallas goes up to the microwave and puts chicken in there and comes
No.
out and says, chicken good. Like,
Okay.
I mean, come
The
That
only
on.
was a
thing I'm
good
asking that
microwave, too.
microwave to make is Earl Grey. Hot. All right. So
We'll watch
go-
it movie night.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Spy Kids, so
okay.
good.
Spy Kids.
Megan, go. Change the subject. Go.
Okay, well, this one's gonna be totally different, like genre.
Please.
But
I'm glad I have Megan here to
Let's get
appreciate
away
my
from
Spy
Spy
Kids.
I
Kids.
love Spy Kids. I'm gonna make you watch it. You probably would like it.
I need a Big
The
Mac
girls
now.
would love
Like, it was a great
Okay, I'm
description.
sorry.
I'm feeling it.
So anyway, I thought about this movie because I was talking to my sister about it the other day, and she completely forgot about it, and I had forgotten about it until she mentioned something that triggered it. But 13 Ghosts.
13. Oh, my word. I
Matthew
had.
Lillard?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I had forgotten about that. That
Great
is
movie.
a creepy.
That should probably be my number one.
I did not
But
expect
again,
to like
not
that
in
movie.
Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Wow.
I went into that movie thinking this is going to be trash. How long do I have to sit here to like appease you to watch this with you kind of thing?
You know why I thought about it? Because I'm in like this horror group on Facebook. Well, it just shows like behind the scenes of different horror movies
Sure.
and stuff. And it randomly popped up a picture of the cast in costume, and I was like, because that movie freaked me out.
It's creepy.
And I was like, this is cool to see the cast in costume. You know, with all their gore and stuff, and see them laughing and being out of
Oh, yeah. I
character.
love that kind of thing.
So I was like, and so I asked her because she used to watch it with me. And I was like, hey, have you seen 13 Ghosts lately? And so we started talking about it. And she had completely forgotten about it. So I was
Yeah.
like, I need to put it on my list to watch.
That is the
sometime
perfect
soon.
movie for this list, though, too, because I think everybody saw it and everybody talked about it just for
everybody loved
just
it.
a couple of weeks.
And then it just disappeared.
And then it was it. Yeah, you're right.
But people know Matthew Lillard, but like Scooby-Doo or
Was
Scream.
that early 2000s or do you know?
I think it was 2001.
So it's pre-YouTube, though. And so you couldn't just
yeah.
like share a bunch of clips of it and it didn't just come out and get talked
Right,
about
yeah,
over and
yeah,
over
yeah.
again. It just, everybody saw it. But then I haven't thought about it since 2002 or whatever. And that's true. That's perfect. What a great movie. That's a great
Thank
pick.
you.
Yeah.
That should have been my number one.
All right. All right. So my number, well, 2, which is now number 3,
Yes.
was, oh my gosh, Way of the Gun.
Way of the Gun?
Ryan Felipe and Benicio del Toro action movie. Really nice little, feels like a 90s twist or whatever. The opening
This is
scene is
ringing a bell, but I
probably
can't
the
place
best
it.
opening, one of the best opening. If we did a top 5 best openings for movies, that would be in it.
Action?
That was the second, action.
Idiocracy would be in mine.
The second time I ever stopped a movie and went, after the opening scene, went, come on, let's go back to Blockbuster. They said, why? I said, I'm going
We
to
gotta
buy
get
it.
the rest of these.
Because I
Oh,
went
you're
ahead and
gonna
just
buy
bought
it.
the
Just
previewed
purchase it.
$6.99 copy. Because when I saw that scene, I was like, stop. I said, come on, we're going to Blockbuster. I'm
That's
going to buy
where
it.
it's
I said,
already
I can
sold.
watch this. This is back before YouTube and
Yeah.
digital. I said, because I will always watch that opening scene.
Really?
And the opening scene has nothing to do with the movie. And if you listen to the commentary track, they tell you why it's in there. And it's hilarious. It's an idea, a little joke that the writer and director always had. And they said, well, let's put it in the movie. So it won't make
This
any
is why
sense.
you
I went,
watch commentaries. So you
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And also in the commentary, Ryan Felipe, they did not want in this movie because he was a pretty boy. And said, I'm sorry, Ryan, but
I feel like you've
and
talked to
he
me about
wanted
this
to be in
before.
this. So he came up with Gruff, and he did the voice, and he did the character, and they went, all right.
All right.
And they said, if you notice, Ryan does something in this movie. he wasn't directed to, but it's a tell sign of what their true intentions are. And if you watch the movie again, you'll see that these people always had this intention. And I watch it, and he's giving a tale throughout the whole movie. But if you don't, and I love things like that. And there's no way I say no way. Someone probably saw it the first time through, but I was like, shut up. Mm-hmm. So I watched it the second time. I was like, oh my gosh.
There it is.
And the director's like, that's how good an actor Ryan was, because we didn't tell him to do that.
Yeah.
He did that. He said, and when we saw him doing it, we went, Ryan,
like they had an epiphany moment?
Because he's giving away the ending, but only
Without
if you
giving it
notice.
away. Wow.
Without giving it away. And they said, that's brilliant. But they said, then they just were like, you were the man. We apologize for passing you up. But anyway, Way of the Gun. All right, so number 2 was Stranger Than Fiction.
Number 2 was Stranger Than Fiction.
So number 2.
Sci-fi. My first introduction.
Spy Kids 2. I'm gonna pass it over to Megan.
Spy Kids would not make it to the sequel thing. First intro to sci-fi. My dad let me watch it. My mom got mad that he let me watch it. Signs.
What a great pick.
Another good movie.
That is
So
a good
good.
movie.
That was a great
gosh.
movie.
And I have been obsessed with it ever since. And M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes.
I love all his films.
You do
Very
not.
obsessed.
I do too.
really
I do too. Most of them. I did not like Lady in the Water. That's the only one I did not like.
You're right. That was weird.
I
was a
loved
little
everything, even the newer ones.
It was pretty, but it was weird.
Signs was this exact same as 13 Ghosts for me. Like
I haven't
walked
seen the new one,
into
the
it
age
blind,
one,
and I
the one where
remember
they age on the beach.
Signs was one of the only movies that we were. It was like a summertime movie or something, right? And we were all just like, "Oh, screw it, let's go to the movies. We got nothing to do." And
That one wasn't
then
as
walked
good.
in.
But that under budget alien walking out of that Brazilian bush
It's great.
freaked everybody
yeah,
out.
tell me, Megan, about a conversation.
Hold on,
Let's have it
hold
this
on,
way,
hold on.
sideways.
The best scene is one without any names. It's where Mel Gibson's character has lost all faith. Mm-hmm. He will not bless the food. They each got everything that they wanted to eat, but because the family is so miserable,
no one eats.
and he didn't even bless the food, everyone hates their meal. Remember that? They all cook their favorite
gets-
thing because
he
it's their
gets
last
mad.
meal,
What is this?
and they should be happy,
Signs.
but they're miserable
Yeah.
You don't remember this?
I don't remember that
Yeah.
right now.
because Dad has lost faith. It's great.
It's
great.
really good, and that twist at
That's
the
the
ending
part
of
you remember?
everything has a purpose.
Yeah, I'm like,
so good.
there's so much more.
No,
Look.
there's a lot, but I'm just saying that to me was just an epic scene.
I mean,
Remember the girl has a cheeseburger.
the
he
epic
has a
scene
steak,
is
they
the
have a-
claw.
And then you
Like,
stare
there's
at
no
it.
disputing that. That's the best part of the movie is the
That's what?
claw. The claw. Like, under the
Underneath
door.
the door.
Oh gosh,
That is the most horrifying, unexpected
I
I
nonsense.
died and came back.
What's the one? Is it The Village?
I thought that was good too.
That's fantastic. I can watch that over again,
But see,
even though I
no.
know the ending.
See, I can watch Signs over again. I can't watch The Village over again because I feel like it had such a twist ending that once you know the ending, it's just like
But
no,
see,
it's still
that's-
good.
that's
I
a movie-
agree with that, but it's still good.
But see, that's a movie. I'm sure it says a lot about his movies. Because
this is why she's here.
this is why I'm here. Well, okay,
The
so
voice
like,
of reason.
I like some of the movies, but I forget them. Like I
Yeah.
forget how they end. It's like, okay, so we've seen The Village. I can't tell you how many times, and I never remember the ending. Like I could watch
What do you
it right
mean you
now.
don't
That's
remember
great
the
because you
ending?
get to watch it again.
I could watch it right now, and I would
could
still
watch
have
it
no
again. I
idea
love
how,
that movie.
how
I've
it
seen it
ends.
once and I remember the ending.
Me too.
Okay.
I've only
But
seen
a
it
lot
once.
of his movies does that to me. I don't know why.
Do you remember
but
how Signs ended?
No. All of it, I'm telling you, most of his movies I can rewatch,
Yeah.
and it's like watching it for the first
I
time.
even like The Happening, which a lot of people hate.
I don't think I saw that one. But and two, like as the once it's over, I'm like, Matt, you have to explain this movie to me because I feel like
yeah.
it's so over my head. I'm like, what was the it was a great movie, but what was the point? Like,
Well, like the things with the burger and the steak and everything, like you'd have to watch it multiple times to like appreciate little things like that.
Probably.
and maybe that's my thing because I
But-
don't watch them multiple
But
times.
one thing, she never saw Unbreakable. And so when we watched, what was it? She wanted to see Split. And
I do remember
And I
that.
watched
Okay.
it. And then at the end, they showed Bruce Willis. I was like, why is Bruce Willis in this?
Yeah.
And then they made the announcement, well, she'd never seen Unbreakable. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because that just threw me. She's like, I said, have you never seen Unbreakable? She know. I was like, what? So we went and watched that afterwards. But Split was really good too.
Yeah.
It was great.
Okay, so what's yours?
But I want to go back
Oh.
to Signs. So, because we were You know.
Yes, so
Okay, sorry,
I
your
had
conversation.
no. It's one of the only movies that I'd walked in and completely blind, and the whole group. We were just like, all right, we'll just go see a movie because they have industrial-sized air conditioning and it's really effing hot outside, and we want to be somewhere not hot. And we all just were amazed. It was so good, so unexpected, so just out of nowhere. Like that was great. It was just such a euphoric experience with the whole big group that we had, and just having that collective gasp at the end, and the couple of collective gasps, because I had nightmares about that alien and the TV reflection.
Oh yes.
That
Oh my
brings me
gosh.
back.
Yes.
I got chills on my arm right now just talking about it. Like
When he
ugh.
turns it off and he's standing there.
I
one
don't
thing-
I don't ever remember my dreams, but God, do I remember that one. Oh yeah.
Signs, the thing that's scared.
When he
that
turns off
scarred
the TV
everyone.
and
So-
all you could see was in the reflection. Oh man.
Matt can agree with me on this one. So one thing I remember from that movie is all the half full water glasses.
Yeah,
Yes.
everywhere.
And that's me, but not because of the movie. It's
Right.
just because. So I'm prepared if anything
If
like
an
that.
alien that
Comes.
doesn't like water
Prepared for the
comes
invasion.
up in my house.
Because I have like half bottles of water like everywhere.
Everywhere.
And like before the babies were born, I had like 4 bottles, just half on my bedside table, and I don't know why, but anyway. So every time I see my empty water bottles, I think of that.
Think
movie.
about that movie? Really?
I do.
It's perfect.
So it's not forgotten about every time.
No, it's not. It's a great movie.
Yeah. It's
All
got
right.
a visceral reaction. Oof. Yeah.
All right, so what is yours?
Oh.
Is this number one?
No, this is
Oh.
number
Two.
two now, I think.
Okay. I remember seeing this movie, and I remember thinking it was so good. It was, I think, my first introduction to Jeremy Renner, and I'm so sorry, the guy that plays the Penguin in the new Batman. What is his name?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
We talked about this
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, right? Or was
Did we?
No, I'm excited though. You go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe we did. I don't know.
I feel
But
like we
anyway,
did.
Such a great movie, and I have not seen it probably since it came out, and I need to see it again. It was SWAT.
SWAT?
SWAT.
Because I remember you talked about those same characters. You
SWAT
talked about
or like
Jeremy Renner.
SWAT team.
SWAT team.
When we were having the live Saturday morning Samoflange at Johnny's Pizza, you talked about Jeremy Renner, and then you talked about the Penguin.
I did.
And then you talked. Oh, that was about Thor because you knew the guy who played Thor. It was Thor, but he's
Adventures in
Kingpin.
Babysitting.
Yes,
Yeah.
Adventures in Babysitting.
That's the
And so I'm
movie.
like, are you talking about the same movie? But
No.
now I understand.
But
Okay.
SWAT, yeah. So
SWAT.
this was I believe my first. I don't know. It may have been Colin Farrell's first movie. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's what I remember him first seeing him in.
Right.
But that's it. But I love those kind of movies. But this was such a good movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen SWAT.
It's really good.
Okay.
I didn't want to see it when it first came out with the guy I
Number
was dating
two?
at the time.
Why would I want to watch SWAT?
Again, not in like such a special order.
All right,
It's
that's
just
fine.
what's-
No, that's fine.
The guy that I was dating
She's
at
like,
the time wanted to see it.
you guys prepared all week. I had 5
Well,
seconds.
that's
And
fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the list you get. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Well, my number now 2.
It does have a good ending too.
Okay. Worth watching.
Twist
I'm gonna.
ending.
No, I'm so excited. I have so many movies at the bottom of my list
I know,
that I
for
have
real.
to watch. Like, it's
Yeah.
great.
Well, now my number 2, previously
Kids.
number 1.
Because number
when you
one
said animated,
is
I
Spy
thought we were going to
Kids.
have another crossover because I have a Disney movie
What is it?
from the 2000s that's totally
the
overlooked.
It might have been
That's
an
my
honorable
favorite
mention.
one. No, it's not because
Disney
I'm the only one
movie
that
from
likes
the
it. The Emperor's New
2000s.
Groove.
It was on my list.
Really?
I switched it out for Atlantis
Oh, you
close.
shouldn't have.
because
So
I said
close.
because I said there's no way people forgot this.
Emperor's New Groove is so good, but no one remembers Emperor's New Groove.
Llama
I
Pies.
remember
Squeak,
it.
squeak, squeak.
Somebody
squeak.
certainly
I-
does.
Croc, wrong lever.
Not wrong lever. Yeah. That's
David Spade.
no, her voice. The is Kit, Eartha Kitt.
Yes.
Eartha
Yeah.
Kitt, Catwoman from the 60s Batman.
Man, and those spinach puffs.
Oh man. He goes, what's that in her teeth? And he's like, hey, if you do it, I'm not going to. And he throws the rock. Huh? I don't know. Someone's throwing
So
rocks on there.
good.
And
God,
David
it's so
Spade,
good.
John Goodman. There's so many good
And the
parts about
kids
this.
and the pregnant mom. when she's
Everything
just like,
about it is great.
Is there a
99
commentary?
monkeys jumping on the bed.
Is there a commentary for this that we find out how much of that is ad libbed by David Spade and
has
that
to be.
comedian group?
I don't
mean,
know, but when I saw that, I don't remember what made me go see it
So good.
because it didn't look that
But you
good
were
in
pleasantly
in the
surprised,
previews.
right?
I laughed
Yeah.
so hard. I could not believe how good it was.
Yes.
'Cause it had been a long time since I had enjoyed an animated Disney movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
when I saw
it's
that,
really
I was
good.
like, this is the best thing they've ever done. I said, finally, because I've liked Aladdin and stuff like that. And I've told people that, but I was like, it's not something that I'm like, not top movie of all time. But you asked me Disney movie, Aladdin,
The
I guess,
comedy
or Robin
was
Hood.
so good.
But when I saw Emperor's New Groove, I was like, oh, wow, really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
The restaurant scene when they're ordering, multiply keeps going out, and Kronk gets so.
Got it.
5
stars and a side of slam.
Not my favorite.
It's not my favorite either, but I mean, I think
up there.
it is a great.
I've watched
it is a great
Kronk's
one.
New Groove,
I would totally
not as
rewatch.
good, and I've watched the entire Emperor's New School, which is the TV show on Disney.
Qualifies for not as good of a
Who is the voice of the
sequel.
mom? I think she's famous.
I can't. She is.
I'd like to articulate the
That's a
heavy,
great-
heavy eye roll that Megan is giving right now.
All right, so number one, she didn't do it. She should have done it for Spy Kids. All right, so number one for
Good
you.
movies.
A movie he's hating on for
About
never
to
watching.
leave.
I haven't
Okay.
hated
We're gonna
on
watch
any
it
of these
tomorrow.
movies.
No,
Number-
Friday
we're
when the
so
girls are
over
home,
on
we're doing
time.
movie day.
Yeah.
No, I went back
Number
and forth
one.
between my number one and Stranger Than Fiction, but I had to put this one in the top slot, even though, like Emily said, that I feel like no one had forgotten it. But to me, it's such a priceless movie, and it's lost in translation with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. And then I realized there are so many people that I have talked to that haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Lost in Translation is in my top 3 movies of all time.
This
Really?
is
Period.
this is the first of the new Bill Murray movie, right?
Oh.
The highbrow
Not comedy.
The not comedy
I mean,
the not
he's
comedy.
still-
It's still comedic, but
Yeah.
not slapstick comedy.
Yes.
Bill Murray, like what he's used to.
It's-
Was this the first one, or was it Rushmore?
I don't know, but
When he started changing the type
he
of
changed
movie
his
he did.
dynamic that he did.
It's
that
very
he chose.
early in that.
Sofia
career.
Coppola directed
It's
it.
good.
I believe it's Sofia Coppola's first movie that she did, and she
only
wrote
good one.
the script specifically for Bill Murray. And it's the beauty of it is that it's called Lost in Translation because they go to Japan. They're in Tokyo. Neither Scarlett Johansson nor Bill Murray's characters speak any Japanese whatsoever. They're both there for entirely different reasons. They are both completely fish out of water, and they do not want to be there. And they meet as the only 2 Americans in a very Japanese, very weird place. And the beauty of the movie, and I've talked to you so many times about this when we've talked about any film, TV show, movie, whatever, I love and adore good storytelling without dialogue.
Yeah.
If you can tell me a story and evoke emotion just by the images and the acting without just an overcomplicated, nonsensical dialogue, I mean, I will stand up and applaud for that all day long.
Put it on my
And
list to watch.
it's such a I can't even tell you how magnificent it is to
watch
me.
it.
And you feel the confusion in the characters, and you are so happy when they figure it out with each other because they just form a little bond, and they're only there for like a week or 2,
Yeah.
but then they can't speak the language, they don't know where to go, they don't know what to do, but they bond together. And he's in his 60s at this point, and Scarlett Johansson's her first movie or one of her very first
20s.
movies, so she's maybe 20, and you wouldn't think they would ever speak to one another, and in any other world, in any other situation, they never would have. But in this one, the only English-speaking
It's good.
people in a
Yeah.
strange land.
It's solid.
It's a beautiful story about a beautiful relationship at the end, and it's just a magnificent way.
I agree.
I adore that movie.
Good pick.
That's one that I can watch a million times over and never get tired of it.
I've never seen that one.
Like
I
Spy
will
Kids.
I'm so excited to show it to you because you're gonna have to watch
Okay.
it. I will watch Spy Kids if you
So
watch.
number
Lost in-
1 is Spy Kids
Deal.
3D.
I will do that. Yes.
That is the worst film ever made.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, my
Number
number
one,
one
genre?
is comedy.
Comedy genre
It is my number 1 movie of all time.
Okay.
And I quote it
In 2000.
weekly.
from the
Wow.
2000s.
Daily if you'll
Forgotten.
let me.
Go.
Wow.
Couples Retreat.
Couples Retreat.
It is the funniest
It is
movie.
pretty funny.
Vince Vaughn.
Love Vince Vaughn.
Oh, that's right. She loves
Vince.
Vince Vaughn, yeah.
I think Vince Vaughn
You
is
love
Couples
Vince
the
Vaughn?
Retreat.
funniest man
She loves
that
Vince
ever
Vaughn,
walked the
yes,
planet.
Yes.
His witty humor is hilarious.
I wish this podcast could convey how excited we all get for our number ones. Like all of us got the big eyes. Like
Well, this is my number 1 of all time.
But I love, okay, Vince Vaughn is not someone that I would be like, hey, that's my type.
Yeah.
But I want to be in a movie with him just so I can kiss him once.
I feel like that about Harrison Ford.
I don't know why, but it's such an attraction to him.
wow.
But
Yeah, I don't think he's cute at all, but I think he's the funniest man
I
ever.
yeah. I love
Yeah,
it.
Fantastic.
so there's like a lot of things in my life that was that like things that I fashion. I'm gonna say it. There's just like things like passwords that I have.
You do not. Don't tell the
Based off-
don't tell the cybersecurity guy.
You have no idea what
how many passwords are based on this movie. I don't want to hear it.
It's not. It's just one, and you'll never figure it out. But it is the lineup and the couples are hilarious.
Is this
What's the guy who does all the Marvel films? We talked about this the other day.
the director of the Marvel films. What's his name?
John Favreau.
Yes.
John Favreau. He's in it. He's
Wait, are you
hilarious.
impressed that I
He's
knew
Vince
that?
Vaughn's buddy.
Yeah,
I am,
yes,
yes.
he's a friend.
Almost
And
nobody
And
knows
he's in
that.
there with the Sex and the City lady.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, black-headed one.
Oh my gosh, I know this.
Anyway, that's his wife. And then Vince Vaughn is in there with...
Kristen Bell.
No, Kristen Bell is in it with not Jason. Not Jason.
forgotten
Jason.
his name. Kristen
Bateman.
Davis.
Bateman.
Kristen Davis.
Kristen Davis.
Wow.
Bateman.
Jason Bateman is in it, and he's so
The big-eyed
funny.
excitement
And
continues.
he's-
I feel like I'm doing a
Gosh,
trivia.
it's
Keep asking
so
me. Keep asking
good.
I need a beer.
It's so good, and there's like literally there's not one part of it that I'm just like I can't. I watch
Couples
it
Retreat.
so many times.
You've never seen it?
No.
It is
why
the
would I,
funniest-
We did talk about this last week because I said to her the exact same thing. It's like, why would I ever sit down and watch Couples Retreat?
Because
and
of
her
all
argument
the
was the
things-
same, and it is.
Of all the people that are in it,
I was
they're
just
all
about to say
freaking
the people that
hilarious.
are in it.
But
There's
But
hilarious.
it's like, okay, why would a straight man ever sit down and watch Mamma Mia? To be with a girl, like because
Yeah,
she's
but
watching
I
it.
don't think that this is like a girl. I mean, it's.
You're telling me that Couples Retreat is not billed toward women?
I mean,
No.
the only reason I saw
I
it
don't
was
think so.
because
Matt,
Vince
have you
Vaughn
ever
was in
seen
it.
Couples Retreat?
Well, I guess the
Yes.
fact that it's called Couples
Did you
Retreat
watch
makes
it by
every man
yourself?
want to go opposite direction.
There you go.
So-
But that's the premise of the show: is that the words "couples retreat," all of the guys are like,
Like,
rolling their eyes, except the nerdy Jason Bateman who wants to like save his marriage, and all the guys are like, "I ain't going to therapy," you know. But they all end up in therapy, and like, it's gosh,
You know
it's so
what? I
funny.
would totally do a therapy session
And,
like
and
that.
the guy who goes with his girlfriend because he just got divorced and she keeps on calling him daddy, and it just like makes him everyone really awkward. But she says Diddy.
I need to watch
so
that
good.
again.
All right.
It's so good. And I told you that because of Rock Band. Because there's like a rock band scene in it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'm glad you and Megan are here.
Top one of all time life.
That's
I'm so
amazing.
glad.
We never would have had that kind
Couples
of
Retreat.
crossover without
Megan-
our special guests this week.
Megan, number one.
Okay, I want to say I was really surprised this one. This is not my number one, but this would be like an honorable mention. And I'm surprised it wasn't on your list because we actually just talked about it not long ago.
Right.
1408, John Cusack.
1408.
Okay,
I
I
don't know
know
if I
it, but
remember
it wouldn't
that
be on
one.
mine.
It's a horror movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or a scary
But
movie.
thriller.
Thriller.
Thriller
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
It's fine. It wouldn't be
I
one
feel
of the
like
top
I
five,
did
but it's
see
fine.
that and forgot it, but I don't. But please
I
tell
like
me.
John
It is
Cusack.
one of those. Yeah, and I'm not a huge John Cusack fan, but this one is a good one. But it would be one that you watch and you're like, this is pretty good,
Yeah.
and then you just kind of forget about
Just
it,
done.
type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess this one is my number one, and I am surprised it is not your number one or
Okay.
on your list because I thought it was. I thought this was gonna be our crossover, but Dead Silence.
Was that 2000?
Oh
It was
my
2000.
word!
And
I have not thought about that.
such a good twist in that movie.
Was that Thriller?
Yeah, it's a scary movie.
Yes.
And
I have to put it on my list.
Matt's adjusting his top five.
because I talked to you about it during Nonsense, the puppet.
I would make that
Oh,
one.
puppets are so creepy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm taking
you're
it off
right
my
on
list
that
now.
one.
If it has
That
a puppet,
would
I'm out.
be
No, you have to come watch it with us.
Number. It's gonna bump some things off.
But
It'd
that
be in
would
the
my
4
number one.
spot or something. It would be a top 5. That's a good one because I rented that so many times. I said, why
Really?
have I not bought this? And now I bought it.
I mean, I've
a good
I've
one.
seen it the once or twice,
Yeah.
and
No,
I was
we've
like,
watched it several
it
times.
creeped me out. I don't
It's
think
good.
I
It's
could watch it
really,
again.
it's really good. And even though there's a super twist at the end, I still enjoy it.
Does it beat out your top?
Oh.
Any in your
No,
top
no,
five?
The
Well, no,
twist,
it would fit in the top 5.
the twist would be a top 5
Probably
of
4 or
twists
5.
in movies.
Top 5 twists in movies would be
Like
Dead
that
Silence.
would be one of them.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
another podcast thing. What's your top 5 twists in movies?
Okay.
Like even
All
the
right.
one in Spy
It's
Kids.
almost like ultimate spoiler alert. See, like, do you-
Right.
I'm not
Well,
giving any.
Good
away.
notes. Good picks.
That's what I was talking about with the Aziz Ansari TV show that he did, Master of None, where his friends walk out of the theater and he's like, "Yeah, man, well, don't tell me about the movie. I haven't seen it yet." And he says, "Oh, no, okay, we won't tell you anything about it." But that twist at the end is like, "Man, why you gotta tell me there's a twist? Now I'm gonna be expecting a twist the whole time." So
He's funny.
Well, you knew something's gonna happen in the movie.
yeah, I mean, you kind of go into some of them expecting it, but yeah.
Good picks.
I think these were magnificent picks, and I'm thrilled to upload this episode and get ripped apart in the comment section.
They're going to talk about Spy Kids the whole time.
They're gonna say,
And if they don't, I am ashamed of all of your followers.
Just calling them out.
Just call them out
On Saturday.
like the plebes they are. Morning.
Samoflange.
Woo!